This video will be an example of checking a passenger in whose cards will not scan. In the situation where a passenger's ID card won't scan, we will go to the Find Passenger tool and begin to look up the passenger. If we find the passenger in the list, select his name and fill out the passenger's relevant information. If you would like to add any credentials to the passenger, simply select the credentials on the right and input them. If you have a scanner, select Scan New ID Card, then scan the new credentials and they will autofill into these values. If the passenger has a Hewitt card that you would like to track, select Hewitt card, select the date of its expiration, and hit Close. The same for the aircraft's safety briefing. If you would like to track when his safety briefing will expire, simply select it, add the calendar time, and select Close. After this, the passenger is ready to check in. We simply select Save, and we shall see the passenger. Now, from here, we do have a few options. We can print the passenger's bag tags by selecting the bag tag option. We can send him a direct message, or we can delete him from the page. And that is how you check in a passenger without a scanner. If the passenger is not in the list when we look him up, like so, simply begin typing the information on the right. It is very important to look up the passenger on the left before you create a new passenger. It is also important to have his birth date inputted correctly. It is recommended to use the passenger's driver's license to scan him in so that you do not have to fill this information out manually. However, if he will not scan, we will have to input it manually. We will input the passenger's departure field, where he's going, much like the last time, his weights, his baggage weights, and we will need to add at least one of his credentials. To add a credential manually, it's the same as what we just did. Select the credential you'd like to add, type in the credential's number. If it is a driver's license, remember to put the state's identifier in front of it. For Louisiana, it's LA. And put in when the card expires. When the credential is input, you will see that the credential has turned green. That means there is a value here and it is not expired. If you see that a credential is highlighted red, that usually means that it is entered and not up to date, as in it is expired. Or if you see information down here highlighted in red, it means that the individual requires something for those points. For this example, the passenger requires to have a TWIC card to go to the Delta house, and he does not have one on file, as well as a valid ISN number. We can still save the passenger. However, we will see a restricted value in his status column, which will come up when we try to assign him to a flight.